Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. Gensler wrecks crypto, declares war. Will he win? Bank of Canada. Who? Yeah, that's right. The Bank of Canada raised interest rates and Legacy is getting wrecked. So how ironic that Gensler may have decided or accidentally created a debacle in risk assets. Right? It's called unintended consequences. I will save you the economics degree or having to get one, but stay right here and I'm going to go through the news and the charts so you're up to speed on Gensler, crypto, and what's going on in Legacy. Altcoin holders, you better listen, okay? I talked sell in May and go away. I talked a final regulatory push to stop crypto, and I even talked about, the government having to refinance itself and what that could do to interest rates and what that could mean for crypto, right? I said it, and then I'm watching it happen on my screen like one of those YouTube thumbnail faces. So if you own altcoins, you best stick around because I'm going to give you a plan for the rest of this month and possibly even the rest of this year. Okay, so we had Dyson Enterprises, first one on the stream today. Hello. This is our first day of the Wednesday live stream. Just as a reminder, we will be going Monday, Wednesday, and Friday going forward. A business is here. Is the sky hazy because of the fire in Canada? Yes, our heart goes out to our friends north of the border. Supposedly, it is affecting air quality in New York City. JP Stanley is here. So I'm not getting a whole stream of comments. So that either means no one is here or there's a problem with the system. Here we go. Nico F looking for the Bill experience. Metabice is here, encouraging you to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you need a roadmap in crypto. Aiken is here. Duilo Madrid is checking in late at night. We appreciate you staying up for the market update. Okay, I'm blasting the news right now. Crypto Crazy, Pancakes, welcome. All right, let's start with Gensler. So 1 minute, Coinbase is approved as a business. The next minute, the SEC is trying to take it down. Okay. The SEC reviewed our business and allowed us to become a public company. There is no path to come in and register. We tried repeatedly, so we don't list securities. We reject the vast majority of the assets we review, meaning Coinbase is stricter on Coinbase than any regulatory agency, and that still wasn't good enough. The SEC and the CFTC have made conflicting statements, and they don't even agree what a security is. This is important. Why? Because the SEC lost the case against Ripple. They lost in terms of how Ripple was even able to drag them out in court. So they can't go after protocols by themselves. So they just went after the exchange where the protocols trade. Okay. And of course, he's noticing that the U.S. Congress has introduced new legislation in order to clarify what's going on. If you thought that crypto might be a presidential election issue, crypto is definitely going to be a presidential election issue because I have a headline here that shows, crypto is Gen Z's most common investment, and that may be risky. Wow, really? You can lose money in crypto. Thank God we have the media to tell us these things. Gen Z is over it. And Gen Z doesn't always go to the polls. They will go to the polls. There will be unintended consequences from this action. Gary Gensler, United States, has 13% of the population owning crypto. 13%, that's going to double when the bank failures start. Okay, nobody is going to be able to stop people from owning Bitcoin. Nobody is going to stop people from owning Ethereum. Nobody is going to stop the crypto world from heading over into decentralized trading. All they're doing is making it worse by trying to make it forbidden. And then courts are eventually going to throw all this out because the courts are going to be asked to enforce regulation and laws that do not exist. They do not exist, right? And Coinbase has every incentive to fight. Like if Coinbase did a GoFundMe, even though they don't need it, everybody would probably join in. Now, speaking of joining in and the wild, wild world of crypto, just a brief introduction. You know, I have another analyst that I work with, Toby, call her my astrology tutor. Okay. I had some content that we were doing, not on the market update, but we had some content that we were doing on my YouTube channel. And people came in and said, my channel and my content is unhinged. So we decided to lean into that. And we have created Unhinged Crypto, where we will be doing outside the box analysis on Twitter and eventually on YouTube. Don't worry, my channel in the market update is not going anywhere. However, if you liked Toby and you like that style of analysis, please feel free to check us out. It's Unhinged_crypto on Twitter, and it's just Unhinged Crypto on YouTube. Now, just one final word. I started doing this because she's really smart. She knows something or enough about markets to use the outside the box analysis to produce, you know, conclusions. And I knew the world was going to get weird enough where we were going to need her help, me, you, and everybody else. And when you have legal and regulatory stuff, which can show up on charts, but frequently not, we were going to need Toby. And guess what? We are. Okay. That day is here. Okay. As a reminder, I work for Emerging Asset Group. Okay. We do commodities on the blockchain. One of them is water. We have 3 of 5 licenses to get water out of Greenland. And we're talking from everybody to the US government, sovereigns, and big S&P 500 are actually Dow 20 or Dow 30 companies. The Panama Canal may be having trouble functioning because of drought, and the drought hit the zero hedge today on the for the corn market. So GLDN is the native token, which you can use to look at Bark, both selling, you know, at low prices like other altcoins. But like other altcoins, we do have legit fundamental catalysts behind us. Okay, net flow to Binance over the past 24 hours is $800 million negative onto the Ethereum network. So Gensler has just chased the crypto community into DeFi, creating an incentive for the general public to eventually learn DeFi. Again, unintended consequences. He's basically digging his own grave, I think, as a regulator. Now, as the crypto lawsuit piles up, Cramer says, get out while you can. So Jim Cramer is an analyst who is on TV every day. You know, I respect him just in terms of being a content provider that has to talk 5 days a week, right? 50 weeks a year. So guess what? Everybody is piling on this train, including the news networks, and they are all towing an administrative line. This is coming straight from the top. We'll get to the headline eventually, but when Gensler tells you that we don't need any other currency because we have the digital versions of the US dollar and other fiat currencies, that doesn't sound like the SEC chairman. That sounds like a political statement from a politician. So somebody in Congress is introducing a bill that's going to actually provide clarity on this. Who knows if the deep state is going to let that happen. Okay. Coinbase targeted by state security regulators. So there's a whole list of states that decided to pile in. Okay. Okay. The Alabama Securities Commission does not prohibit Coinbase from offering staking services so long as it complies with Alabama laws. So Coinbase just reminding all 28, all of these states, right? You know, New Jersey, where I'm from, practically a communist republic. You know, Washington, Wisconsin, right? Some regulators in here, right? California, of course. Deep state. Deep, deep, deep state. Anything to stop freedom. I swear to God. You know, they do not want freedom in the United States. They don't. U.S. lawmakers urge IRS Treasury to hurry up with crypto tax rules. Yeah, guys, just tell us what we're supposed to do. Or, moreover, we know what we're supposed to do. We pay our capital gains taxes and we're aware of what's happening. So, who's in Gary Gensler's pocket? Right? How about the banks? How about the administration? How about technology? Anybody notice Solana, NEAR, Cardano, ICP, all on the hit list? Somebody trying to stop Web3 because, you know, it's clearly a threat to U.S. national securities. If we sell some bunny NFTs on Solana, please, right? Meanwhile, Apple is coming out with a $3,000 spatial computing headset. Okay, $3,500 for a spatial computing headset, right? If you put that $3,500 in crypto, where are you going to be at the end of the next cycle? The SEC lawsuit obviously is just coming down on Binance hard. Basically, they're accusing Binance of doing everything that FTX did, misusing customer funds, not having customer funds available for withdrawal. Again, it's just an outright assassination attempt on Binance's reputation. Now, what they can really do to Binance as a company that's headquartered overseas, I don't know. Okay, but they're doing this. They're doing this. They're doing this, and this is their last gasp. Right? In other words, they're going to rattle crypto. And crypto may wind up getting rattled by legacy. Matter of fact, this crypto debacle that Gensler has started, I frequently talk about on the stream how asset classes inside of hedge funds, they're grouped together like dogs next to each other in a kennel. So if the crypto dog starts to bark, right, and the bond dog starts to bark, then the stock dog, the commodities dog, and all these other dogs will start to bark. And what does it mean when they all start barking? Risk management algos see trouble in one area, trouble in another area, and it just says, you know what? De-risk and sell everything, right? Sell the crypto, sell the bonds, sell the stocks, liquidate, right? All in an automated fashion. So wouldn't it be funny if Gensler started a crash that not only permeated like altcoins, but what if it permeates legacy, corporate bonds, real estate? We're going to go over that in the market update, so don't go anywhere. Meanwhile, retailers are embracing crypto, the digital world of fashion, a favorite trend of mine. Louis Vuitton knows Gen Z wants, okay, crypto. And in order for Gen Z to want the Gen X products, okay, they're going to have to be attached to NFTs, which is what Louis Vuitton is doing. AI transforms music. Two major rap artists made some music using AI, pissing off their label. But again, the leverage and the intersection of AI and crypto. Do you think that a government official or even the president of the United States is going to stop Web3? I mean, my generation's joke was that Al Gore said, you know, he just slipped up. He said that he invented the internet. And that pretty much lived forever. And the current administration is trying to stop crypto. They're trying to stop Web3, and it's not going to happen. Like Al Gore did not invent the internet, and the current administration is not saving anybody from crypto. What they need to do is leave crypto as a way for people to save themselves from a banking crisis, which is what RFK Jr. has said, And right now, I swear, my producer listened to the Twitter space with RFK in it, and he said it was one of the best things he's ever heard. Somewhere out there, there are people who get Web3, AI, and crypto all fit together. And there's all these people talking about, oh my God, Gensler's making a mistake. So many jobs are going to go overseas. You know what? Nothing's going overseas. Nothing's going anywhere. These guys can make all the noise they want. The free market and the free people eventually win. That's the story of America. Yeah, they can push it. Yeah, they can turn it into dystopia. We can have Bud Light and Targets all over the news. At the end of the day, if the American people need to be free, they're going to be free, right? And that's why crypto is important, and that's why they're trying to stop it, and that's why you should not get wrecked. So if you got wrecked in meme coins and you got other altcoins that you're holding on to, you best continue to listen up. Okay? Kathy Wood buys $21 million in Coinbase shares. Kathy Wood's not exactly having a good year. She got off the NVIDIA train too early, and now she's going to DCA hard into Coinbase. I would recommend the end of June, but I support the idea. I support the idea. Okay, this is pretty funny. Okay, China, okay, in a rare attempt to bolster the Chinese yuan, a self-regulatory body from China tried to tell them to lower interest rates on US dollar deposits. This could encourage Chinese firms to settle exchange receipts in yuan, which has weakened to a 6-month low against the dollar. Okay, very important point here. I understand that other countries don't want to be subjected to, Fed monetary policy driving the value of their currency. I get that. I get that a lot of people trade with China and they may want to settle trades in the Chinese currency. But the idea that the toilet paper known as the Chinese currency is going to take over as the world's reserve currency, yeah, okay. Maybe one day in someone's dream in the metaverse, okay? But not today. Not today. If there is a world reserve currency alternative, it's gold, which the Chinese happen to own, in really large amounts. Okay, let's take a moment to welcome who's here, who is here. Bo Rabbit, what's up? Denim 84, revolution of the internet is pushed by the SEC now. Seeing some new names here. Welcome to the new people. Reverend Flashback, welcome to the regulars. Joseph Green, watching late in Brazil, what's up? 3,500 for ETH. Yes, but that's the fall, not now. Okay, Bypass Barry looking at Bark. David says Bill for president. Welcome. Okay. Ashton says that was an Elizabeth Warren statement. You're right. Right. And now, in fairness, Elizabeth Warren actually told you this was coming with this comment about, crypto is somehow connected to the drug trade. Like, I blew that off and we all laughed at her. She deserved to get laughed at. Who knew they were sending in the tanks and the planes behind that? Who knew? Okay. Okay. Gensler and Cramer can go get bent. JP Stanley is here. Cramer is going to miss out on the crypto bull market once again. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Much love from East Tennessee. Much love from East Tennessee. Okay. Andre, content. Bull runner, let's go. GF is here. Okay. Crypto at 2 a.m. in New York City. He says it looks like the planet Mars. Okay. Ashton with the notorious love. Shizzy DeFi. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. PowerPoint right now. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about ETH. Now, in this environment, this is a P&L destruction environment where altcoins have lost sponsorship. Now, that was one sentence of legacy gobbledygook that I'm going to unpack for you. So as you can see on this ETH chart, I could draw something like, I don't know, wave 1, then back up, wave 2, then puke wave 3. This is not perfect, wave 4. And there may wind up being a new low for the move, wave 5. That could be 1,600 ETH. That could be 1,400 ETH. We don't know yet. Okay, but what you will notice is that there's a big green candle on the 90-minute chart, and then it goes down. And then there's a big red candle, and then it goes up. Okay, so 3 red candles on an intraday chart. If they're green, buying may not be wise. If they're red, selling may not be wise. Everybody's going to want to play because there's a lot of volatility. Now, if you happen to be one of these types that's got ice water running through your veins, you can define a range. There's guys on the internet, Frankie Candles, Magic Internet Money. These guys are really good at defining ranges and then trading ranges. As a matter of fact, most of the time, day trading types make most of their money not from trends, but by defining ranges. Now, I'm the opposite. To hell with the ranges. I want to catch the transition from range to trend. Now, in this case, you have to have money for when the trend starts. So first you had P&L disruption in meme coins, post Pepe, and now you have it in Ethereum and all the other cryptos. Green up, everybody in, red down, everybody out. Okay, XRP, a range between 54 and 50 cents, dying to see if XRP can hold 50 cents, right? I think the SEC has lost the case against XRP, and they've already moved on to try to get the exchanges. But if XRP happens to win their case, then all the noise these guys are making, it's going out the window. The lawyers for the exchanges are going to have potentially an XRP precedent to lean on. Now, if XRP loses the case, well, that's a totally different story. Okay. But it is kind of assumed in crypto circles that the judges are going to look at the SEC and wonder what law they're asking to enforce. Securities laws, I don't know how you apply them to something like XRP. And now they're trying to say, Solana, NEAR, Layer 1s, Filecoin. They're attacking everybody. So if they lose the XRP case, they're done. Not to mention the fact that could turn XRP into a form of money, right? Which we're all going to need, right? At the moment that they're trying to kill crypto is the moment we're going to need crypto as a form of money. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. Okay. 25,700 is like a support level. Okay. 23,000 is the target of the head and shoulders top. Okay. I'm sorry. Somebody was asking for wave 4. This wasn't labeled right. Wave 4 is up here in the top corner. I just didn't label it. Sorry. Okay. That was on Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin. This Williams oscillator looks like there could be a big move because it's near zero. Okay. So maybe there's another heave coming. It would make sense for there to be another heave and then a dead range and then a rally and then another heave. Again, just think P&L destruction. Some guys use max pain, right? It's day traders trying to capture 5% moves, and they just wind up transferring all their capital out. So much better, in my opinion, to try to find downside targets and start dollar cost averaging when they get to those downside targets at the end of the month, right? Let everybody puke it out because now legacy is involved. And you need to pay attention to what's happening in legacy. Now we have MicroStrategy, which will be the instrument of choice to get Bitcoin when this settles, right? The end of the month, if not sooner, people are just going to be like, well, Bitcoin's not going to be illegal. Michael Saylor has a ton of Bitcoin, and that's going to be the only safe way to do this trade, right? Right now, the stock is at 288. You might see it fall to 237. Okay. Institutions that want Bitcoin, Kathy Wood should have been buying MicroStrategy, right? That's the best way to get the Bitcoin exposure. However, I do get it on Coinbase when the whole world needs crypto and America needs crypto, Coinbase will still be open. If anything, this is going to force more people into Bitcoin and ETH when the time comes. Again, unintended consequences. The whole thing is going to backfire on Gensler. Okay, so Coinbase, like Total 3 and altcoins, theoretically, with this little, downward sloping range, Coinbase could go to the bottom and retest the lows, right? Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it can. Okay. ETH daily. You have a head and shoulders top, and ETH just won't give up the ghost. It's down, it's up, it just doesn't go anywhere. Okay. However, I don't think you can discount the fact, that, there's huge demand for ETH to get off centralized exchanges. So it actually may be an ironic period of time that charting ETH may be like very difficult, if not meaningless, because everybody's got to buy Bitcoin and ETH. Now, I don't think ETH is going to be safe from a debacle in legacy. It just wouldn't be my choice of what to be short or liquidate. Now, Total 3. This is total altcoin market cap. This is the 3-day chart. So every bar represents 3 days of trading. Okay. When Total 3 dropped and went sideways, there was no uptick. This is altcoin market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. There is no reason, and this was true before the SEC debacle, that this measure cannot make a new low and go to the bottom end of this just sort of parallel range. I mean, altcoins are in trouble. And if you're waiting for stuff from the prior cycle to come back, I mean, they went after Cardano. I mean, to me, that's unconscionable because Cardano wants to do different things with their layer one. Okay. Philosophically speaking, layer one protocols are an attempt to stop Web3. And if they take all the coins from the previous attempt to start Web3 and either exchanges are forced to delist them or Americans are just discouraged from owning them, that's going to probably do more damage short term than anyone thinks because you've got rising interest rates and legacy cracking at the same time. I would take a look at altcoins. My first look is going to be when Litecoin gets to the 62% retracement of its down move at 70. Currently, it's at 88. I think if Litecoin can actually hold up, there's a case for, the ordinals, NFTs, and the like to move to Bitcoin affiliated blockchains. Okay. In other words, the world of NFTs, the world of, the world of Web3, everybody said it's a multi-chain future. Not anymore. Right. Not at least for Americans. Meanwhile, in legacy, Gensler may have kicked over the hornet's nest because the Bank of Canada just came in and hiked rates. Right. So, I've been talking about wage inflation being a lot lower than anyone thinks. Central banks have got rates too high as it is. And the Canadians decide, well, I guess they know the data better than I do. They are economists and government officials after all. So they hike rates. So this propels U.S. rates higher, right? Bonds down, interest rates up. And I talked about this. I talked about much higher interest rates on long-term bonds because the U.S. government has to borrow an absurd amount of money. They are selling bonds, right? And someone out there has to take them, right? So it's like risk management models at hedge funds are beeping sell at a point where the government needs them to buy. So everybody walks away from U.S. government bonds, and out of nowhere, bonds are down. Okay. Treasury bonds are down. Corporate bonds are down. This is Ray Dalio's big bet on big corporate bankruptcies. So this is LQD, This is an ETF that follows corporate bond prices as an aggregate. Okay. And that is a really ugly looking candlestick. Really ugly. So if LQD, if this continues beyond today, you're going to have an event in markets. Gensler is going to trigger a crash, possibly in crypto, but moreover in legacy. Can you imagine the SEC, the defender of the people? Owner of San Francisco's largest hotel, Hilton Union Square, walks away and says, I'm turning in the keys. No one wants to stay in downtown San Francisco, so I'm not paying the rent on the building. Have a nice day. You think this is the beginning of this or the end of this? One thing that Toby said when we did our work on the debt ceiling crisis, she said that the debt, or our conclusion, probably based on her work, was that the debt ceiling crisis was not a crisis, that the government had more choices, namely just spend money, and that the debt ceiling crisis wasn't the end of one, or the resolution of it wasn't the end of one. It was the start of one. And guess what? Gary, just for American football fans, he just kicked off by trying to kick crypto. You have crypto down, stocks down, bonds down. And don't forget, in the U.S. banking system, according to this graphic from Forbes, okay, unrealized gains and losses on investment securities in the U.S. banking system. Losses could be as higher. Okay, unrecognized losses could be as high as 1.75 trillion. Okay. So right here are the losses sitting on balance sheets. Some of the stuff are bonds that they can hold to maturity. Other things may have to be liquidated. Like, what do you think happens to the bank that gets the keys to the hotel in San Francisco? QQQ, technology stocks, which of course were going up forever. Okay, you have a DeMark 13 top up here in the corner, and you have a failed rally. Okay, you look at NASDAQ 100 on hidden pivot analysis. Okay, you had a top up here, most likely. You know, you hit it twice and then it failed when bonds rolled over. Again, hedge fund models. Oops, something happened in crypto. Oops, something happened in bonds. Oops, we're selling stocks. Right? If I was a portfolio manager, I am like, oh my God, I'm done. I got profits in crypto, take them. I got profits in QQQ, take them. Done. Like, buy. You know, am I buying treasuries? No. Buy. I'll see you in August. I'm out of here. Why get wrecked? Why get wrecked? Now, speaking of getting wrecked, we got to talk about equities, because this is the hidden risk to crypto, not Gensler. VIX, the fear index in equities, because of course, everything is all right. Stocks are going up forever and nothing could ever possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the equities world, it's like a hookah bar. You walk in and it's just a big cloud of smoke and everyone's just sucking on their pipe, just dreaming away. Everything is fine. There's no problems in the world. Meanwhile, VIX is closing below its bottom Bollinger Band on 2 separate days. And if this is right, VIX actually made a new low today, June 7th. Every time VIX closes below its bottom Bollinger Band, eventually VIX turns around and smokes to the upside, which means you could have a decline in equities, right? That could be now, that could be, you know, tomorrow, and it could accelerate at the end of the month, right? Remember, June is quarter end. So you want to book something for the quarter, now might be a good time. This is the biggest risks to crypto, and that is the market update. Okay. Okay, so here's Johnny K. Bill, I don't understand why you're defending the biggest pieces of trash in the space. I know the theme this year is to hate Gary, but he's not wrong. Okay, let's talk about that. So Gary is wrong because he's taking his orders from somebody with an agenda against crypto. Okay. Now, if Gary was going to do something, he should have done something about what was going on with these meme coins, right? That's where the general public actually needed protection. Now, I don't know how he would have done that, but that's where people got hurt. That's where people lost money. People did not lose money on Solana and Coinbase, right? And Gensler won't clarify any regulation, right? If he wants to regulate it, I mean, the Europeans are figuring it out. The Japanese are figuring it out. Yeah, crypto's got a lot of stupid, nefarious actors. Okay. Okay, Ontario, Canada is here. Iron Alien watching on a delay. Welcome. Okay. The world supports China. Pubu Chiasm. The world supports China to oust the evil empire. I can understand people wanting to take a shot at America. I can understand that. Just remember, people in China, they're okay with the things that their government does. So there's no beef with the Chinese people, but the Chinese government is communist, and the number one skills and the number two skills for communists, in my opinion, are lying and killing people. So if you want them to have the world's reserve currency, just make sure you think again about that. Is the United States of America perfect? Obviously not. Okay. Obviously not. But, are we going to have the Chinese currency be the world's reserve currency? No. Because if you think we got commercial real estate problems, we got banking problems, we got an aging population problems, they got it too, and then some. There's a reason why on June 1st, they were going to allow their population out of Hong Kong through Hong Kong to get involved in crypto, which is probably another reason why Gensler and friends, basically trumped up all this stuff and attacked crypto, because the Chinese want it. Now, if you want an angle, that's the angle, right? The Chinese, ironically, were going to let their people be free and try to get a financial, cushion or backdoor, and we're trying to prevent that. That makes us the bad guys. So yes, there are two sides to the argument, and I can acknowledge that. I can acknowledge that. Okay. Let's go to live TA. Bo Rabbit is here. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, here we go. Live TA. What is happening now? Okay, so 90-minute Bitcoin, there's a 13 bottom, there's a 9 bottom. This thing better rally. Okay, if there is no tactical rally in this, past, say, 26,700, this sort of DeMark line there, you got trouble. Okay, because on the 4-hour chart, you got resistance at 26,500, and you don't have the positive DeMark work on the 4-hour chart at all. As a matter of fact, this kind of looks like the start of something rather than the end of something. Okay, ETH. Okay, I'm not sure it gets any more boring than this, but you have a 9 bottom. Okay, you get a kind of bizarre counter trend rally. So they did the 9, then they puked it, then they brought it back. Be careful of failed rallies in Ethereum. Be careful. Remember, people may have staked Ethereum sitting on Coinbase. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there in the world, and believe it or not, Toby's going to have to get me sorted out because I can only see so far on the charts. Okay, I can only see so far on the charts. All right. Q Boyd, welcome. Okay, Andre could hello from the Romania. Endless hope, like that name. Okay, could LDO be the one coin market? I don't know. Okay. I do know that people have got to get into decentralized applications, and they got to do so in a hurry. And I can't believe hedge funds can leave a lot of money on exchanges. Okay. So that's the Ethereum and the Bitcoin. Let me just go to ETH on a daily chart. Live TA. Okay, again, ETH on a daily chart. 1850. Up, we go below it. Go above it, it's bullish. Up, we go below it, it's bearish. Above, below, above, below. I mean, I guess this is good that ETH is a stable asset, but, I get this like sick feeling that, ETH is stable and that's good, but ETH can't rally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like the fact that, yes, it's okay. Yes, it has not gone down. Yes, I get that. But, crypto lacks sponsorship, which is something I talked about in the beginning. So crypto digital assets, they're speculative. They're not like stocks. They don't have flows organically coming in from 401ks and mutual funds. Speculative assets require a certain amount of money flowing into them on a regular basis in order to maintain prices. It's sort of like irrigation, right? The crops need a continuous flow of water. No flow of water, right? Everything wilts. Okay. Solana on a 90-minute chart. I mean, this looks like 9 bottom, right? No material uptick. And then it just starts. This is called setup. And then this moves into what's called countdown. So if Solana is on a 3, that means there could be 10 more 90-minute periods. Okay. That's 900 minutes of pain in Solana. That could be a lot. Near, same thing, right? I mean, 9 bottom stops. Maybe you get 1 green candle and then it resumes. This should be a 5-wave low. No sign of it stopping. None. Right? If you go to the daily chart, right? I mean, this was supposed to be the future of Web3, right? This is like 1, 2, 3, and then it could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? Now, maybe it's not straight down, but again, you have a choice. If you're on Coinbase and you don't know what you're doing, how fast, how long does it take to log on, hit the sell near, buy Bitcoin button, right? Everybody just moves into Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin's at 23K, who cares? You don't know what's going to happen to this because money has not flowed into it. It has stopped flowing in. It does not have sponsorship. And you have unintended consequences because if you have interest rates rising, as I said ad nauseum, okay, you have a situation where altcoins are left vulnerable. Now, the good news is once this is over, altcoins will probably bounce, but it's going to set up a situation where the whole world is going to get funneled into Bitcoin and ETH at some point, right? At some point. Because again, they're not, the only way to participate in Web3 right now without getting in trouble with the SEC is Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when the banks fail, when US interest rates rise, when you have an 8% mortgage rate, the value proposition for crypto, which either comes in July, September, or December, or C, D, all of the above, I want you to be there. I want you to be there. I don't want you to get killed. I don't. Okay? Let's take a look and see what QQQ is doing because I got news for you. This stuff now matters. Okay? Here's Blackstone on a 4-hour chart. Blackstone is a major commercial real estate company. Blackstone gapped down. It rallied back. It filled most of this gap. So this commercial real estate player has either got one more rally before it gets wrecked or that was it. This was it right here, the failed rally. You open, you go up a little, and you wind up closing down. I believe that's a candlestick called bearish counterattack. Okay. Blackstone could make a new low. Okay. Schwab, on the other hand, is a stock that everybody seems to be short. I was caught picking on Schwab. This is the P&L destruction environment that I was talking about, right? In other words, the thing that everybody is short is the thing that goes up the most. Okay. But that said, you do have to be careful that you don't wake up one day and some of this stuff is a lot lower. Okay. On a 4-hour chart, you've got a 13 top here and you've got a lot of resistance at 56. So if the shorts have been squeezed, you have to look out below. Have to look out. And you have to care about this because the last thing crypto needs is an equity market down move. That's the last thing they need. Normally, I'd be like, it's going to decouple at the end of the year. Okay, it's not going to decouple now. And I want to look at SPY, and then we'll go back to crypto. Okay, so nothing much going on here on the 4-hour chart, at least from a DeMark point of view. Okay, tomorrow's probably going to be a 9 top in S&P, the same as the 9 top you had in February. Not a big fan of this at all. Okay, 4-hour TLT chart. Okay, so the sort of the good news is you're probably going to have a huge selling climax. This is the long bond ETF. You'll probably have a selling climax that will get you to a 13 bottom. We'll see if it rallies from there. Okay, on the 90-minute chart, there's nobody here until 100. Okay, so this has got more downside theoretically. Now let's go back to crypto. Okay. Okay, someone's asking, okay, someone's asking lows by August. I'm kind of hoping for a July low. Okay, there's going to be a September, October event in equities, and you pick up crypto after the event in equities. I think the thing that bothers me most is that if Gensler is at it, combined with the legacy event, that's going to hurt crypto's ability to decouple. Okay. Okay. So here's AGIX, right? So you're going to have a 13 bottom and then you're going to have a 9 bottom. Okay. This is artificial intelligence in the crypto universe. I find it very hard to believe that this is not a major buy between now and the end of the year. Everyone is talking about AI. Nobody is talking about how to get in on it from a decentralized point of view. Okay. Johnny K wants to know what's my take on the UFO whistleblower. You know what? I'm with Tucker Carlson. Okay. Certain events are overreported by the media. Certain events are underreported. It was a Pentagon whistleblower. Okay. Now, whether that guy is telling the truth or he's not telling the truth, let me ask you this question. Are you getting accurate information from major news media networks? The answer is no. No. I mean, you can't even get objective market analysis by watching a guy like Cramer. I mean, since when is a market analyst having a joyful interview with an SEC regulator, right? I mean, I learned in college that, you know, if government stays out of business, if government is, you know, at least when you eliminate like government's job to protect the people, as in police, fire, military, intelligence, etc., the less government, the better. We're on a stock TV show extolling the government. So if a government official says we've got extraterrestrial equipment, the story was underreported. Unless they can prove it was a hoax. You know, how do we know the dam incident in the Ukraine? How do we know who did that? We don't know who did that. The media thinks they know who did it. They're blaming Putin. Is that right? Now, on the subject of UFO whistleblowers, again, if that is fake, it's probably a distraction. Like just distract. And eventually everybody, hopefully, according to this idiotic ideology that we're buying into, it's almost like a cheap version of what the communists have been at for 100 years. People will forget what's really going on. QNT. Okay. I think this is still in kind of a slump with 107 as support. I don't think this looks terrible. Alternative payment plumbing is a part of the next wave. The problem is this going to be in a range between 118 and 107, or are people going to puke this out? I guess if I was hodling it, I might continue to hodl it, or I would say there's resistance up here, and if I got to take a loss, I might be able to buy this back at the end of the month. It depends on how much pain you can tolerate. This does not look terrible to me, okay? Especially, I think, if you look at it on a weekly chart, okay? It's got resistance at 121. So really, to get going, it's got to get above that. But again, this does not look terrible. This does not look terrible at all. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Okay, Roy Reyes is here. Welcome. Okay. Bill, Ontario is here. Ontario, California. I ain't built for the Canadian cold. Right on. Great thoughts, bro. Appreciate that. Grandpa Rock, our friends from the UK in the house. Okay, now let's take a look at one final coin that was not in the SEC's crosshairs. That's Avalanche. So somehow Avalanche escaped. You have a 13 bottom, and you're going to have a 9 bottom next week on the weekly chart. Okay, you've got a 13 bottom on the daily chart in Avalanche, because this has just gone down and died. So you may see, I don't know, $13, maybe. But it will be interesting to see if this holds, because this is not a layer one that's not on the naughty list for some reason. Okay, probably because they have an apparatus for security tokens, and the BlackRocks of the world and the Bank of Americas need security tokens because they're holding giant portfolios that are not liquid. So if they're going to tokenize them and try to distribute them to other institutions or retail, they're going to need a security token layer one. How convenient. How convenient. Okay, let's go over the lessons of today. Unintended consequences. Okay, I know the headlines and the shock jocks are on Gensler. I get it. But Gensler may be taking his orders from somebody up at the top, and he may have started a cascading effect in risk assets. Institutional computer risk management models, say that 3 times fast, do not discriminate between asset classes. If 1 or 2 asset classes are doing well, they're going to tell the trading desk, the models are going to beep, and they're going to tell them to sell the other classes. So the unintended consequences of coming down on crypto and trumping up lawsuits and towing the party line may result in a broader decline. If you're holding on to altcoins, you better call your accountant and ask if you can handle a 40 or 50% drop. Because if you can't, I would think you would need to make a move, get your charts out. You'll know what to do. This is not the environment to just sit around and go, oh, it'll come back. Something will come back, but it's not all going to come back in altcoins. I suspected that, and now you got to take Gensler seriously. Because if stuff starts getting delisted, Americans are never coming back. They're not coming back. Okay, especially if there's new stuff coming out in a new cycle that may be better than the current regulatory framework. Okay, Justin, it was good to see you. That's the market update. We'll see you on Friday.